Nobody move and nobody gets hurt. This is a stick up by Jerry and Adrian, the Legalized Robbery podcast.
So, continuing the conversation on crypto, I wanted to quickly touch on something, which is the Ethereum London Fork is coined EIP slash 1550. I don't know how they come up with these numbers.
Yeah.
There's probably an explanation out there by someone extremely knowledgeable. But I just wanted to sort of bring the update to our listeners and viewers in a just very bite-sized portion and just way to understand it the best. So this fork will allow crypto users to it allows the creators on different platforms to have a better user experience apparently, and they're burning portions of Ethereum fees through this update. It mitigates sort of the economic inefficiencies um, due to fee volatility. You know this as much as I know this, Adi,
Mhm.
that there's been so many jokes about how high fees are on the Ethereum blockchain. And the more people use it, the higher the fees actually get. So there's plenty of jokes by people and maybe even serious cases where somebody was trying to transact a certain amount and the fee was just the same amount as the
Dude,
amount that they were trying to transact.
you had fees of $50, $60. Like, okay, whatever. If you want to buy a Bugatti, that's
It's
negligible.
fine.
But seriously,
Exactly. But
yeah,
not for like, normal sort of people that are trying to, buy some Ethereum or switch it to something else that is on the
yeah.
Ethereum blockchain. However, the primary purpose of this is not to decrease the fees. It's just sort of a byproduct. The real thing that will decrease the fees later on and help Ethereum scale is the layer two rollup tech, is what it's called.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in another episode. But it just basically is a layer on top of Ethereum that allows it to have faster transactions as well as decrease fees by a lot. But this update primarily is something that improves user wallet interface. And to quote, it blunts the primary criticism from BTC maximalist that ETH issuance is infinite because they're actually burning some Ethereum. They're making it less. Because a lot of BT maximalists will say that the issuance is infinite, therefore it is just like the current financial system where you can pretty much print infinitely.
Mm-hmm.
So, accusing Ethereum of being inflationary, basically. But yeah, this update actually shows that Ethereum can be deflationary.
Mm-hmm.
But that whole thing is a huge sort of conversation because on one hand you can say, hey, we Ethereum just proved that the issuance is or can be reduced, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, Bitcoin maximalists could then say it's not so much the fact that you can reduce it, but that it's malleable,
Yeah.
right? Because Bitcoin, on the other hand, is 21 million, if I'm not mistaken, 21 million Bitcoins, and that's all there is. And nobody can change that. And that's a
Yeah.
powerful thing. A fixed monetary policy. That's a pretty powerful. Whereas Ethereum, they can change it. They can be inflationary, deflationary, so on and so forth. So, you know.
Yeah.
Um, this update also reduces the issuance without reducing network security. So we heard Vitalik say very often that he's very focused on security. Now, it also makes it harder for mining pools and others to front run trades, and it reduces network spam. And that's in a short form what this update is about.
Yeah, I was actually looking at some videos, but it was a while back, a few weeks ago, I think, and they were actually criticizing the way they did this with capping the transaction cost, basically making it. I'm not saying not worth it, but yeah, there's a cap on the fee now, so it's not going to be as interesting as it were before. I was actually talking to Manu, my friend, regarding the fact that I called it. There's gonna be a crypto token, which is basically gonna do sidechain transaction prioritizing for Ethereum. Yeah, you can only charge whatever $15 max per transaction. However, if you take this transaction and you pay me this other crypto token in this other account, I'll take your transaction first. Because this is also about that. Like crypto fees, the transaction fees, it's not just to process it, it was a who pays more gets priority. Basically what they
Okay.
basically what they did by capping it is there's a upper limit. So it's anti-capitalistic in the sense that you're going to have somebody who wants to pay $100 to get his transaction through now. He
Yeah.
won't be able to do it. And basically, I was calling it that the market will find a sideway, a different chain, something parallel to make funds, to get funds in a separate way to prioritize certain transactions.
Yeah,
That's
and,
going to
and
happen.
that is a great thing. I think what they're primarily doing is looking out for the little guy, really, because that's who has to stem those big fees, and who has to stay behind when somebody's front running trades, which is why I mentioned earlier, exactly to your point. This whole update will make it harder for mining pools and sort of other individuals to front run trades, which means they they get priority, like you said, just because they're paying more, maybe.
Yeah.
So this is a sort of democratic update, if you want to call it that.
I- Again, I understand it, but it's just like it's kind of similar to what China did to private education. And it's like again, it's like socialized anything without the possibility of having it private. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
And
explain that.
yeah, because basically Ethereum the chain, the directive of the chain is I'm your daddy, I'm gonna take care of all of you. And some guys are like, yeah, however,
Mm,
I would like to have an option. And all
that
I'm
is
saying is the
this is
market will
really
take care of it probably.
this is really interesting, and the Bitcoin maximalists will salivate at the mouth about this, because I think I get what you're saying. Like they are in a way acting like Big Brother.
Yeah, no, it's
And
socialistic.
and even
I'm
though
not.
even though it's positive, the point being that if you have some type of governance structure, right, and you're relying on the people to be positive, that is in a way centralization, right? Because you're relying on some type of source, right?
Yeah,
But instead, why not make the system in such a way that is positive, and it doesn't require somebody to make a decision, so to say. And I think that's where Bitcoin maximalists come in and say, hey, this is already built in Bitcoin, so to say. And yeah, it's a really interesting point, because Vitalik is a good guy, but what if Vitalik goes and somebody else comes? This is just the big
yeah,
cycle sort of happens over and over again.
yeah. But we don't know. We don't know if certain changes wouldn't be possible in Bitcoin as well. Like the difference is, by the way, I found out what EIP is. It's Ethereum Improvement Proposals, and 1559 is the actual number of the proposal. There have been 1,558 proposals before, and this was just the 59th. And it was made by Vitalik and some other guys. That's all. Just a counter. Nothing
Gotcha.
more magical about it.
Got you. Yeah, super interesting. And I think that'll be something something juicy we can talk about in the next podcasts. What a good governance structure is, and if if it's a good system, if you have to rely on the people that are running it to be good.
Nobody gets hurt. This is a stick up by Jerry and Adrian, the Legalized Robbery podcast.